What's up, my guys? Welcome to another show, NBA Talk with Jay Money and the Shark, man. Got my guy back with me. The collab is back, man. We ready to cash. We ready to bust up these bookies. They're scared of us, I must say. They're probably watching the show right now just so they can move their lines or whatever. But what's up, man? Y'all know I'm the host, Jay Money. That's my guy, the Shark, at Shark and Sports on Twitter. What's up, my guy? You good?
Well, we were just talking about it off the record. It's been a couple weeks. We both did our own thing a little bit. We're hyped to be back. I was saying to you last night, I feel great. It's a beautiful Monday. I call it my favorite Monday every Monday because you make it your favorite Monday. Beautiful slate today in the NBA. We got a couple cross-conference games. The scheduling has been interesting lately. And we got a couple ringers, so let's go straight to the streets. Business meeting begins. Jay Money, where do we go?
Oh, you already know, bro. We got to go to the game that we like in the most. The Blazers. We got Blazers versus Hawks here. Hawks laying 2.5. I must say, the Blazers. I'm absolutely in love with this team right now. I said they were going to go on a streak. I do think this is not necessarily a good spot for them. But I've been so in love with the Blazers. They took care of me yesterday. But what we doing with what you liking here? I see you got the Hawks buy hat on. What we liking? Is a little dirty bird tonight, little spicy chicken, or what? What we doing, my guy?
Yes. You said it. I'll explain it. Hawks minus 2.5 play of the day for me. And when you really look back on this, as you said, they've been scalding hot, scorching hot. They've won 4 in a row on the road, 3 against the East, I believe. And if you even go back to a previous road trip, they did clean up against the Southwest. They beat down the Raptors. The Raptors are not, but they're playing in Tampa. They beat down the Magic. They functioned really well on the road in the Eastern Conference sector. However, when you look at this 4-game sample, 3 of those wins, the ones against the East, all of them were revenge games. They had lost to Indy at home, they had lost to Brooklyn at home, and they had lost to Boston at home. This flips tonight. They beat Atlanta at home 112-106. They beat them on a -5. This is moving 7.5 points towards Atlanta. Again, it should be 3 home to road. It's showing strength. And one really crucial fatigue point. This is the 5th in 7. It's a road back-to-back. It's the 3rd in 4. And it's also the 6th in 8. Atlanta is literally just lining up tonight to cash against these Portland Trailblazers. Jay?
Exactly. And so you said it right there. I absolutely love this Blazers team, but you don't have, even though when the team is hot, I know sometimes you know what I'm saying, you kind of look at every single game. I want to just ride the way with the Blazers, but this is an absolute terrible spot for them. As you said, 5. I didn't know there was 6 and 8, but I know it's 5 and 7 games, 3rd and 4, back to back, all on the road. And I've been on them, like you say, revenge spots. And this one, the Hawks actually have revenge here. They are healthy. They have Bogdanovich better. Got Trae Young, Capella, even Tony Snell's coming off the injury report. So they're pretty much full squad here tonight. I think they're going for this win after a couple of bad losses versus Philly. They did get it done versus the Bulls. But at the house here, revenge game. The thing with the Blazers is, bro, their offense is so hot right now. It's like with the Celtics. The Celtics offense was just as hot yesterday, but when it came down to it, the Celtics just ran out of gas yesterday. If you have a better defense than the Blazers right now and your offense can hang, you can beat them, especially with them being in a fatigue spot. Hawks have the rest advantage. Hawks minus 2.5 for me, my guys. And we don't think that the Blazers, they possibly may not be a full squad here with this bad of a spot. Norman Powell's already listed questionable. I would probably say that, they're going to rest somebody here. They just have to, guys. You guys played way too many minutes, man. And they've already shortened the bench on going with 7-man rotation. So give me the Hawks here, full game to, second half. It should really get out of hand, in my opinion. Double-digit win, I see, for the Hawks, my guy. Let's go to the next one. My guy here, Sharp. We got the Warriors versus Pelicans here. And I forgot to tell people on the SBR show, man. I told them, but I like the Pelicans here, guys. I do. It's a heavy lean to the Pelicans for me. Shark, you got me on this. The Pelicans play a lot harder at the house against upper teams or teams that have a better record than them. We know the Pelicans are sitting at 11 right now in the West, have everything to play for. If they win these next 2 games versus the Warriors, they will pretty much take their spot into like the 9th or 10th seed. So I think this is a huge game for the Pelicans, bro. Must win almost type game, laying 2.5. They did beat the Warriors in Golden State, but we know the Pelicans, they're different beasts at the house. What do you think? Does Steph go off for 10 threes and go for 50 or what, my guy?
When I first looked at this game, of course, the number does stand out. It's a very standout, strong number for New Orleans. When you look at the records, and I always talk about this, it's very important to look at the records because the weighting that Vegas uses is crossed with the records. So when you see a team that is 29-35, 5 under versus 32-32, laying 2.5 points, even adjusted for home court, it should be about a pick 'em to maybe a +1. Dubs should probably be about -1 here. So you're looking at about 3.5 points worth of strength. This is a no play for me for one specific reason. They are playing on Wednesday night as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it last night, and I do think that this could go either way. And I think the second matchup will have a lot of transparency based off of what happens tonight. Did they play earlier this year, or was that last year?
Yeah, no, it was earlier this year. The Pelicans smacked them up. I think they smacked them like 120. It was 122. Let's see. I can tell if Wiggins is not out there for the Warriors, they're getting smacked tonight. I can tell you that right now. So no, it wasn't this year. It was this year. I tripped out. Sorry about that. No, they hadn't played this year, so no revenge game. I must be thinking about a different series.
That's
somebody that won at that. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll be looking at too many damn games to be honest with you. So first game of the season, what you thinking, my guy? If you had to play aside,
and that's where I was going with it. I looked at it and I was thinking they didn't play, so they had no prerequisite emotional, comebacks point or anything. And I do think this game kind of stands alone a little bit, and I think it kind of stands like like game one of a playoff series where you're going to see the second game have more transparency as a reaction to the first game. And, of course, that's where we go in a 72 or 82-game window as well. That's why the revenge games have so much merit when you bet them, because you saw what happened before. But without that, I do think this has a bit of a standalone effect. So that's why it's a no play for me. And that's why also Wednesday, I will really be looking at the Wednesday game for more of a take here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And to be honest, so I like the Pelicans to win tonight, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them get it done tomorrow. I know what you're saying because I thought the same thing with this Nets versus Bucks series. It's just with this one, it's really crazy because I think that the Pelicans, if they turn the defense up at the house and played like they do against some of the top tier teams, I think it's very possible they can win both games here. But I would definitely be leaning for them to win this one. Is seeing that their situation with the standings. If the Pelicans lose this one, it's almost like the game tomorrow may not even matter as much. So it starts today with the Pelicans. I'm pretty sure I'm putting some on Pelicans, guys, plus minus the 2.5 smaller play. I'm gonna go with Hawks, the main play. I'm putting some on Pelicans as well, minus 2.5. It's a home team type of day, you dig it. Warriors 1-6 against the spread last 7 games as a road underdog, 0-4 against the spread last 4 after following a straight up win as well, my guy. So in theory, not necessarily a good spot. Let's go to the next game, my guy. Another intriguing game here, Knicks versus Grizzlies here. Obviously, the whole world is on the Knicks here. I mean, as they should. They've been cashing tickets, but I can tell you, it's a contrarian type spot, guys. But I mean, me personally, I would be on the Grizzlies here. I did take the Knicks. In New York in the first game. Grizzlies laid 1.5. It went into overtime. They got down 12. Grizzlies went up 12 real quick. Knicks had to come all the way back, win it in overtime. Maybe a little bit of a different Grizzlies team. There wasn't any Jaren Jackson Jr. then. See what I'm saying? So I like the Grizzlies here, Shark. I don't care who doesn't like it. I like the Grizzlies -3, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree. I'm wearing this hat because I own it, and I like the Knicks for no other purpose. So throw that away. We'll talk some sports. When you look at this game, of course, you did have a 133-129 Knicks victory in Madison Square Garden. I've been saying about the Knicks. They're too hot. But you have to go a little deeper. They do annihilate the bad teams. So throw that out when you look at this matchup. This is going to be tight. And they're also just way too hot in these environments where they win these games in overtime and coin flips. Like, again, take everything out of the window, names off the jerseys, just start flipping coins because these are coin flips. You don't win 30 straight coin flips. So for me, the lean here is significantly Memphis. But when I went through it, there were a couple points that were significant enough counterpoints for me where it became a no play, even though, trust me, the lean is Memphis. Memphis has covered a couple games at home against the East. And I still can't believe we're saying this in the 2021 campaign. The Knicks are a contender in the East, but they are. Memphis did cover against Milwaukee. They covered against Boston, and they covered against Miami. They won outright against Miami. It was close. They won by 4. Memphis always tries to give these away down the stretch. And they beat Boston, I believe, in overtime, where, again, it was really back and forth. They did lose to Milwaukee 112-111. The only issue here for me is just, again, I was talking about the line and averaging functionality. They were an underdog in those games, I believe. And I just think when you get this out there at 3, now 3.5, also crossed with looking at the Knicks in back-to-backs, the Knicks have not been just default awful in fatigue spots. And this leads me to kind of the final thesis point here. The Knicks are better coached than almost anybody. Their group connects better than almost anybody. They try harder than almost anybody. And when you watch them play, I mean, I said this to somebody in a DM last week when I was watching them play, their rotations on defense are straight out of 1997. They literally are so focused on defensive rotations. You don't get open shots. You don't get free space to move. They just play a higher quality of basketball. And when I really look at that, it's a no play for me. Although, as I said, I have zero disagreement with your take here.
Gotcha. Yeah, Knicks sit at number 4 seed right now over there in the East. The Grizzlies sit at the 8th seed, pretty much a whole game. Like if the Pelicans win these next couple games, the Grizzlies and they keep losing, they could be sitting in the 11th or 12th seed. It could happen. They have all the motivation in the world right now. This is a revenge game. They came off a terrible loss that they have to look at themselves in the mirror. Are we really going to lose against the fucking Magic? Like, what are we doing here? So you have them coming off a terrible loss on the road where they probably were looking ahead to this game, huge game versus the Knicks. These two teams match up exactly exactly the same, in my opinion. Obviously I'll put the Knicks ahead if they're a full squad. Noah went down with an ankle injury last night, didn't come back in the game. Be interested to see if he plays today. They are still without Mitchell Robinson. They won't have Alec Burks here, one of their main guards, scoring guards off the bench. So they're not a full squad here. I do think the Grizzlies, even though they're 1-3 against the spread the last 4, I do think they come to play here. I do think they bring juice. In the past 10 games where the Knicks have went 9-1, the one game they lost was against a really good defensive team like the Suns. The Grizzlies tend to play really sticky defense. They play better at the house. They juice up. I like John Moran and the guys to get it done. I know that the Knicks are. I know the public is in love with them. Everything. This is a back-to-back spot. The problem what I have with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau, you win the game by 25 last night. Why does RJ Barrett have to play 40 minutes? There's absolute no reason for that. Why these guys play all of these minutes? Just how Tibbs managed these guys. So even though they did play the Rockets last night, it's not necessarily a fatigue spot. The Grizzlies still have the rest advantage, revenge. They're coming off a terrible loss. They have everything to play for, all the motivation. Heavy, like I say, I'm gonna put something small on the Grizzlies, my 3. Whether Noah's in or out. If he's out, I really think that all the Knicks backers they may be pissed off tonight, my guys. So let's go to another one, man. Let's go to this Lakers versus this Nuggets versus Lakers, my guy. So LeBron did just get ruled out. Looks like the line is going up to 5. We already knew that it was probably sitting at 4 or 3.5, even with the expectation he's going to be out. He didn't come back in last night, my guy. What you thinking? Is this a little spot? May take a flyer on the Lakers plus the 5 at the house versus a red hot Denver team. Talking about somebody that's been too damn hot. What we thinking, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good story for the Lakers. As you said, Denver's won 5 in a row. And I've been saying this since Murray went out. I thought they'd have a bump. They would get kind of juiced up without their player, and then they would kind of crater down. They have not. They've been very good. Jokic has stepped up. And their secondary players, I mean, guys like MPJ, I mean, you got to remember, this guy was the number 1 recruit in the country. He got hurt. He sat out a year. They have some depth on that roster that people don't really know about unless you really follow, college basketball in a more detailed way. And I just think that when you really do look at this matchup, you catch them just scorching hot. Dub 5. And one of the key points here is these layovers in LA where you play the Clippers and the Lakers back-to-back is such a brutal spot for these teams. It's been this way since last year when obviously the Lakers and the Clippers both got their act together roster-wise. So I think that there's a lot of merit points here. The other side of it, I do like the Lakers without LeBron. I think that, they found some continuity when he was out. I think when he came back, they've been lackluster for 2 games, obviously. And I think without him, they could revert back to that efficiency and a bit of the fluidity that they found. So I would lean Lakers here if I had to.
Exactly. Yeah, heavy lean to Lakers for me. Me personally, I may sprinkle some on it, just plus the 5, just because I know that it's not necessarily a must-win game, but the Lakers are damn near teetering on maybe even missing the playoffs, or you know what I'm saying. I mean, they're not going to miss the playoffs, but they do have 4 really tough games coming up after this. I do think that the Nuggets have been way too hot. Obviously, if LeBron was in there, I do think that the Lakers, like say if they come and play their best game, I do think defensively, like if AD comes in locked in and he's on Jokic, I don't think that'll be the same type of Jokic. If they come in here and lock up on defense, they can, what these guys like to do, Michael Porter Jr., like we have to remember, they don't have Murray still. They don't have Morris or Barton. So it's pretty much Michael Porter Jr. and Jokic right now, and the rest of the guys doing it collectively, defensively. So the problem here is that the Lakers are still missing that Schroeder. He's going to be out for a while, probably the rest of the regular season, and then still no LeBron. You're missing a couple ball handlers because they already really didn't have a lot of point guards. So now you're really relying on guys like Alex Caruso. It's not necessarily good, but just the way that I look at games, the way that they're trashing the Lakers right now, just lost these last 2 games. They're all over ESPN. Oh, they're 7 seed, all just really trashing. I'm telling my girl last night, I said, watch the Lakers win tomorrow. This is what happens. As soon as you count them out, their backs are against the wall and people's pissing them off. That's when they come to play their best game. If they come and play lock in defensively, I'd be leaning Lakers and under here. We know that the Nuggets going to play real good defense. That's a key point, Sharks. I was thinking last night that I said they had the day off in LA. Oh, party time, drinks on me, baby. So hey, Nuggets, it could be hungover, bro.
Beautiful foreign women hanging out in LA. I heard good times, man.
Man, they come from Denver, now they LA. You know what I'm saying? Sun shining, it's things walking around everywhere, man. So I'm just saying, it's crazy.
And one final point. This is also a revenge game. Denver did beat them down in Denver going back a month or two.
In LA. It was in Lakers. Yeah, it was in LA. I think it's like 122 or 105.
Oh, even worse. Yeah. Oh, I remember that game actually. Yeah. But yeah, regardless, revenge game is just another layer of the reason to be pissed off here for the Lakers. So 100%, 10 o'clock, ESPN. I mean, can they do it again? We had them last night. I had them 38-32 first quarter against the Raptors. I'm like, all right, here we go. We're coasting. Nope. 40-21 against in the second quarter. Thanks for nothing, guys. Unbelievable. But of course,
I kind of put that one a little bit more on the Raptors, though, because they just simply, and sometimes, bro, when a team loses, I always tell people, it's not necessarily the team that loses sometimes, which the Lakers didn't come to play for one, but the Raptors just came with this different type of juice yesterday. Like Lowry, obviously, he was rested. He like fucking Steph Curry. I was watching. I say, Lowry balling, bro. So they just had some type of juice. Lakers weren't ready for it. They could have possibly been looking ahead to this game. We can't rule that out as well. So I think they'll want this one. I think they need a win in the worst way. They're the more desperate teams, is what I'm saying. They're catching 5 at the house. Me personally, I can only look Lakers. The whole world would think Nuggets going to be easy, and it could be. Today's NBA, it could be that easy. It's just. I'll be looking at Lakers and under, my guy. But so look, my guy Shark. Any other game? Let's go to Pacers versus Wizards. You like anything in this one?
Well, we went through. Actually, let's go to Philly at Chicago. I want to talk about that.
Let's do it.
This particular game, I had this circled going back a couple of nights for the home team. I know people hate Chicago. Trust me, I don't love Chicago either. And Jay also is not from Chicago. But when you do look at this, the fact that Chicago has played them twice, right? Let me give you the dynamics here. They covered on the road 112-105 on a plus 8.5. You had that correctly going back a couple months. I remember you had plus 8.5 Bulls. Then they came home and they laid points to a Philly squad that did not have Embiid and I think Simmons. So again, functionality, environmental analysis. On the road as a dog, full squad, they cover. Home as a favorite, laying points to the uninspiring version of Philly, they don't cover. They got blown out. So now they come back, double revenge game. And I always say it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one campaign. So that last night with Miami. Miami had lost twice to Charlotte. They go in there, the line comes up, they bang them. And I think when you find Philly here, I think they're on a 3rd and 4 road back-to-back. And I think you're going to get a good effort from Chicago. And I like the way this number functions for Chicago. I like buying Chicago in these spots at home as a dog between 3 and 6 points, and they are getting 6 points here. I think the number is fairly well weighted. Obviously, at this roster point, it was 8.5 on the road. It's 2.5. It's a sharp number. But I do think in terms of the environmental analysis of this game, Chicago is a pretty significant lean for me.
Exactly. Yeah, I was reading something earlier this morning that it's not historically it's not necessarily a good spot for the 76ers coming in off of back-to-back off that overtime win. So and they're laying points. So the Bulls right now they're pretty much like in the 12th in the East right now. So like the things that I'm doing right now, I'm not taking if you're not 1 through 11 or at least close proximity to that 12 where you could possibly get there. I'm not even looking towards value because it's not that the motivation won't be there because teams like the Timberwolves are still playing hard. It's just other teams. I mean, we're seeing it. Some of these players are just ready. They're ready for vacation. They probably already got their bag. So my house is being packed up right now. They probably got bags by the door. You know what I'm saying? They can't wait till the season over. These guys are millionaires. They finna go out there and live their life. They're not going to the playoffs. They may not even be watching the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy because I lean Bulls, and I do think there's a possibility the 76ers rest some guys, but it is one I'm saying. We don't even know if Vucevic is going to play yet or not, guys.
I got to be honest.
You don't like Vucevic, do you?
No. I don't.
He's still the best player on the team right now, bro. I'm sorry. He's their offense right now.
I think he just doesn't connect. Like I was saying this last night. It's more for me. It's more the psychology of the group. It's not necessarily how good on the court he is as a player, shooting and rebounding. It's just I think he disrupts their flow, and I just don't think he meshes well with this group. So I think pull him out. I mean, we see this all the time. Bad teams, way worse teams than the Bulls without Vooch, cover games against teams like Philly, where you just get this young group of guys to really rally together. And again, I'm not sanctioning this as an official, but I do think Chicago has solid merit here.
No, I'm with you. Bulls are nothing for me. I'll be honest. I don't think there's one road team I like today, bro. We can go to the next game, but I don't think there's a single road team that I like today. That's just me. It's great. I mean, maybe I need to go and look to just real quick, Shark. I was going to ask you just psychologically, what do you think on Mondays? We know how Mondays are. Can kind of be slow. Like everybody doesn't like get up going to work on Monday after a weekend. What do you think? Do you think that just in general, Monday, different team is different? Do you think in general the Mondays favor the home team, or do you think they favor the road team? Just quick thought.
To be honest with you, I've never tracked anything like that. And I don't know, because I don't think it's a blanket thing. I think it has to do with where teams are on road trips. And I think more so the psychology of, again, like we talked about this, I think it was, who was it that was on the road? There was some team that was on the road for like forever. And I said they caught like a second wind on the road. They bottomed out and then they got back up. Like as if you were on a Euro trip, you get a jolt and then it bottoms, but then you're like, we're here for 2 months. Then you get re-juiced. So I think like Monday versus Sunday doesn't necessarily matter. I think it's really just where they are on the schedule.
Got you. Now that makes sense. That's why I say it might go from team to team, because some teams are just not that good on the certain day. Some of them not good on Fridays or Mondays. So I am actually finna go and look at some more shit like that. I'm like, hold on, there's not a single road team that I would take today, to be honest with you. I know that Magic and Pistons is a fucking terrible game, but maybe the Magic, that would be the only one that I possibly lean towards. Just real quick, Shark, on this Pacers versus Wizards, bro, because this line was going down. The Wizards been red hot. Right? We know the Pacers been trash lately. They smacked up OKC, but I mean, me and you could probably go out there and smack up OKC right now. What do you think about the Pacers taking money or this line going down early this morning, my guy?
Yeah, I looked at this one. I think Indy actually lost in Washington prior.
Yeah, it's a revenge. Yeah, it's a revenge spot.
As a favorite there. They were laying 6.5, 7 points in that game. So this is like a huge line jump. Washington's laying, 3 or 4 points or something like that?
Yeah.
So
opened at 5. It was down to 3.5 this morning.
Wow, yeah. And again, this is really tough for me. As you said, Indy's way better on the road. You do get the revenge factor. And Washington has been extremely hot. I mean, they've won. They had won 12 out of 14. Of course, they did lose to Dallas, but they did cover. I mean, it was still a very representative effort. I think coming back to the house here off that trip and that loss, there might be some slight merit to Indy. I just can't get behind either side here. Washington needs the game. So does Indy. They're very evenly graded in the standings. I think this is going to be one of your classic Indy games where the game is just all over the grid. They play one great quarter, then they collapse, then they play another great quarter, and then eventually down at the end of the game, it's just like right there. It's some high-scoring, ridiculous game. I think the game is just going to be like a high-scoring type affair, pretty much.
Exactly. I'll be honest. So there'd be another one. If I had to take it, I'd probably be on the Pacers. Just me, nothing super strong. That is probably one of the road teams that I would back. And it looks ugly. It looks like, why the fuck would you take the Pacers? Watch them probably go out there and win that right. In my opinion, no, there's still no Turner, but Sabonis in there and Brogdon, because I think they were both questionable. Then with LeVert, I think they have some guys off the bench that play enough defense that could keep them in this game. I still think Pacers are better than Wizards, even though they've been super hot. So that's just my thoughts. What you think, bro? Jazz, anything on Spurs versus Jazz, my guy?
I think the Spurs are they're due to get blown out. I mean, they tried to last night. They were down double figures the entire game. And then I think Philly just kind of gave them the fourth quarter. Philly just was trying to conserve energy or something, because that didn't make any sense. They come in here. Utah did beat them down early season in San Antonio, 130 to 109. At that point, of course, Utah was still developing who they are, and that was the beginning of their run. I think Donovan Mitchell's still out, of course. That was
Conley as well.
Yeah, and that was -5 in San Antonio. This is at 7.5. So again, we always talk about this 2.5 coming home is razor sharp for me. I have nothing on this one.
Got you. In theory, Spurs have a lot more to play for, and like I say, so DeRozan, Pirtle, and Murray all sat last night. Those three it was just rest, just simply put. I feel like kind of crazy when they just put it on the injury report, rest, but it happens. They literally just rested, so it'll be interesting. I could see maybe Patty Mills and Rudy Gay maybe sit this one out back-to-back in altitude, probably two of the oldest players on the team. So I actually lean Spurs, especially with the Jazz recent form. They kind of seem a little checked out, ready. You know what I'm saying? They're closer to playoffs, like last 2 games. They might try to get in shape, whatever, but they know the playoff. They're in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be 1, 2, or 3 seed, damn sure. So Spurs, in theory, I kind of want to go with teams that have more to play for, my guy. But what we liking, Shark? What's the top play, my guy, before we get out of here?
8:00, Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta Hawks, the bye hat, hosting Portland, revenge game, catching Portland way too hot. 4-0 ATS last 4 straight wins. 3 of them were revenge games. this flips. This is the revenge game for Atlanta. It's a different division, and they're in an ultimate fatigue spot. -2.5, play of the day. J Money.
Let's cash it, man. Yeah, Hawks for me as well. I like the Hawks. The Hawks top play. So me and my guy on the same thing. I like when we think the same. We don't, talk about our plays before, and then we come on with the same thing. Which you guys know if you watch the SBR show, I already told you guys I like the Hawks, Grizzlies. Heavy lean to Lakers for me, guys. Heavy lean to Pelicans. So this, I'm gonna be on 3 plays today, guys. Hawks will be the top play. Then I'm going smaller. Guys. So if you guys, I'm really, I like to just give out 1 play, but I'm gonna give out 2 bonus. These are personal plays. I'm taking Pelicans -2.5, and I'm taking Grizzlies -3. These are personals. So 1 top, y'all know what I do. I'll share you my personals with you. Pelicans, Grizzlies, heavy lean to Lakers, guys. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sprinkle someone. I have to. I have money. I don't even give a damn about the money. So I'm saying if I lose, I lose. Can't be afraid of a loss, Jack. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sprinkling on the Pacers. On the Pacers. I'm sprinkling on the Lakers, my guys. So that's what I'm doing, man. I appreciate it. It's nice to be back with my guy Shark, man. We appreciate you, but I know the whole world is on the Nuggets. I know the whole world's on the Knicks. One of them might cash, guys. Like the whole world's been cashing, Shark. The public. It's been a public year. You just take the easy fave, and you can you smash the Nuggets tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's just I think this shit gonna stop.
I haven't gone through the numbers or anything, but this might have been one of the most public years in the last decade, if not the most public year. It's
ever,
bro. Very basic, really. I mean, when it comes down to it. But
but we finna get out of here, man. But yeah, Hawks for me. Hawks top play for both of us. So for the show, Hawks, my guys. Really, I still like Pelicans, still like Lakers, still like Grizzlies, my guys. Let's fucking cash today. Let's ride the wave or get out of the water, man. Y'all go and have some fun. Live your life, man. The NBA is not you don't center your life around the NBA. It's what I'm saying. It's not even the same NBA. You make some bets. Go live your life, man. Have fun. Eat. Have some drinks, man. See what I'm saying? I still hope we cash. It's just. Y'all live life, man. Be happy, man. Don't let these games get to you too much. Because at one point I did, man. So let's just keep it all positive vibes, man. It's all love, man. Much love to everybody in the chat. My guy Shark, really like doing this, man. Let's try to keep it going. Let's build something here, man. NBA talk with J Money and the Shark. Let's go. We doing NFL. We doing NBA playoffs. All this shit, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe and share the show as well, man. We out.